So I see three things that can work with this. And the first one is to know your personal brand. So I worked with an amazing personal branding coach that helped me really understand my personal brand. And the way she explains it, and certainly it's very powerful to know this. And the way she explained it was, personal branding is the message that comes to mind when people think about you. So it's generally three things that people, that a personal brand will tell people. It's who you are, what you do and how you add value, and what makes you unique. So usually when we think about branding, we think about like an image or a logo, and it's not that. So deeply understanding your personal brand allows people to understand your uniqueness. So the way Jane explained it is people buy from people, and they buy from people they know, like, and trust. And I really like that because it just feeds right into, as I said before, it really feeds right into an accountant's personality. So they're just generally likable people when you get to know them. It's just that we don't really know them that well because they've not been open enough to talk about and share their sort of experiences with people and a little bit of their personality because of that fear thing that we talked about before, which is natural and normal, but it's just them just bringing that out in people. The second thing is to develop really healthy habits. So there's an author by the name of James Clear, and he wrote a book called Atomic Habits. And what he wrote about in that book was, if you increase your skills by just 1% every day, by the end of 12 months, you'll be 37 times better. So if you create some healthy habits around what you're doing, so if you do want to step into the advisory space and learn some new skills, it's not something where you can make a decision today and be an advisor tomorrow. You can make a decision to be offering advisory in 6 months and then work every day on the skills to build that. So that, I guess that concept of what James talks about is really important to understand, that it's a process to build skills, but it's important to build the habits to achieve that. And the third thing is to know the 3 keys to selling. So the first one is, and this is a personal favourite of mine, is stacking the odds in your favour. So I'm really strong about boundaries around my day. And certainly you don't have to do this, but the way that I operate, and I think that it really helps when I'm in a sales situation, is to be really organised. So I get up at the same time every morning. So getting up at the same time every morning, coming in, having an organised office. And I go as far as to say, I drink 2.5 litres of water a day. I eat really healthily. I train. I think working out is really important. I'm a runner, but you don't have to run. I think just walking or moving your body at least 3 to 4 times a week is really important. So stacking the odds in your favour around your routine, I think, is really important because you come across a lot more centred and congruent when you're talking to people, I believe. The second one is to lift your energy. So I talked about that 5-step process before. When you're talking to them after the 45 minutes of finding out what their issues are and what they're going through, your solution should be exciting for the business owner. So at that stage, you've listened to their issues, and then you're about to provide your solution in that last 15 minutes in the meeting. And that's where you lift your energy, because you see a future for their business that they don't see yet. So if you're lifting the energy, you need to be the one that's holding that energy space when you're actually talking about your solution. So energy is really important when it comes to, I guess, the steps in sales. And the third one is, okay. So the third one is to know your special sauce and to know your unique. That's essentially knowing your uniqueness. So for me, when I'm looking for an accountant, I want somebody to be able to take complex information and really make it simple for me to apply. So I think the more simply information that seemingly complex can be conveyed, to me, that's my person. So whatever your uniqueness is, it's really important. That comes back down to personal brand. What uniqueness you have is going to really attract the client that you want to work with. And if you're essentially, it's important to obviously write down your ideal client to know who that is. And when you're talking to them, if you're sitting in front of your ideal client and they're there because of your uniqueness, you're going to be much more likely to be able to get them results. And that's what, and if you've got, or you'll accept any client, and you're trying to work with somebody in an advisory sort of space, and you're not your ideal client, it's going to be really hard to get results. So it's sort of a stacked process, this. But yeah, obviously knowing your uniqueness is really important, because then you're knowing the people that you're going to attract from your ideal client list.